What is diastasis recti? Diastasis recti is the splitting of the abdominal walls, right to left, that happens most commonly during pregnancy, and it is most visible after a woman gives birth. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. I'm going to show you what you can look for in your own body to see if you have it, okay? So we're going to come all the way down to the floor. Lie on down. All right. So this is safe to do, by the way, after you have given birth, as long as it feels okay in your body. If you feel any pain, please don't continue. So if you take the hips nice and heavy, the feet are about sit bone distance apart, parallel, and let your whole body just relax. Take a nice inhale. And then as you exhale, take your hands behind your head and lift up just the head ever so slightly. So we're supporting the head just a little bit. We don't want to go into a full-on curl up. I'm going to show you what not to do. That is not what we want to do. We want to just barely curl up and let the belly button feel like it's sinking down. So let's do that all together. Take a nice inhale. On your exhale, let the belly sink down and then barely lift up looking at your belly button. Now, if you have diastasis recti, if you were to take one hand and take your finger in right where the belly button comes down towards your pubic bone and try to put 1, 2, 3, maybe even more fingers into a gap. If you have more than one, maybe 2 fingers, but really 1 or wider, that means you have diastasis recti. Don't be freaked out if you can take a significant amount of your fingers in. It's okay. It's totally normal. I'm gonna rock up for a second. It's totally normal for you to have that gap after you've given birth. Now, here are a few exercises I'm going to give you that's going to help heal diastasis recti. And why that is so important is because we want your abdominals to knit back shut before you progress into full-on abdominal work. That way your abdominals will be strong and knitted together. If you jump into abdominal work too fast and your diastasis recti is still open and that gap is still there, you will actually strengthen your abdominals with that gap. And that's not what we want, because that means every time you do a curl up, that little pooch of your abdominal muscles kind of pushing out in the middle of the diastasis recti, that's going to stay there. So let's avoid that. Let's keep your abdominals strong and knit back shut, okay? So here are a few exercises. Come down, back down. All right, so what we just did at the beginning with the take a nice inhale, exhale, belly button sinks down, and just sinking your belly button down. That is our exercise number 1. Inhale, belly button down. And let's just do about 3 or 4 more. Start with your breath, exhale first, and then curl up. And 2. So the belly button leading the way. 1 more. And you can do a few more on your own of any of these. I'm just showing you a little sample platter. Okay, take it on down. To clarify again, we're not doing a crunch. The idea is not to work our abdominals. We're not lifting up and working those abs. It's all about knitting your ribs, and that includes your abdominals shut. So we're thinking hugging your belly button, everything into the midline and sinking your belly button to the ground. That knitting action is the most important. Take a nice inhale again, 1 more, and exhale, belly button sinks down. So you can do about 10, 20 of those. You can do less, but do that up to about 3 times a day is pretty great for your body. Let's move on. Take one hand behind your head. Take one arm reaching out. Take a nice inhale. Sink your belly button down first. And then again, you do that little curl up. So this is just 1 notch up from what we just did, right? Inhale. Sink your belly button down. So if this is your first time coming into it, then just stick with both hands behind the head, okay? That's perfectly fine to do that. That was just another option if you're continuing to build a little more strength, a little bit more of that knitting action. Okay, Take one hand on either side of your waist. We're exhaling and again, just dropping your abdominals down, and now just knit your ribs shut. Inhale, knit your abdominals shut. Everything draws in, and down. So if you have any space underneath your back, go ahead and crush all that space with your back. You're sinking your belly button as low as you can. And now keep on going, and you add this little tuck of the hips. Exhale. Inhale, open. Exhale, wrap those ribs. Draw your belly button in. Good. So these are our corset knits, like you're drawing a corset over your abdominals. Good. Let's go a couple more, getting the hang of it. Exhale, sinking the belly button down, crush all over space. So what we're doing with our hands, we want our abdominals to do what our hands are inviting our abdominals to do. Good. Hands can come down by our sides and going into our pelvic tucks. You just draw your pubic bone towards your chest. Draw the belly button down first, as always. Inhale. Start your exhale, belly button down. And then you start to tuck pubic bone towards our chest. Yep. Inhale. And if you want to take your hands to help you with your pelvic tucks, by all means, start with the belly button down and then melt your abdominals shut. Keep on going. And I'm just going to remind our bodies here that if we do see, if you sense a pooch, the abdominals start to puka out, right? From that gap, that means we're going a little too much, a little too hard, and we're forcing the abdominals, okay? So go slower than you think if that's the case. Exhale, start with the belly button down, and then draw your abdominals in, lacing and knitting shut. And let's go one more. Very nice. So let's just review really quick. Hands come behind us, shoulders are down. This is our mini curl up. We curl up, exhale, belly button down. And let's do one more of those. And now add single arm, mini curl up. And again. Take your hands on either side of your waist and knit those ribs shut. Corset knits. And final one, pelvic tucks. I'm going to keep my hands where they are and keep on helping those abdominals knit shut. All right, beautiful job. So you can keep on doing those exercises as frequently as you want. I said 3 times a day, but you're welcome to do more. You can do anywhere from about a handful to 10, maybe even 20 of each exercise, as long as it feels good in your body and you feel very supportive. The main takeaways is the belly button is always going to initiate the movement. Think belly button drops down, down, down towards the earth, and then allow your ribs, your abdominal wall, everything to knit inwards. Melt the belly in. So that's the second thing, to knit and gather down and in. Perfect. So if this was helpful and you want to do even more, we have a second video of exercises that you are welcome to do, and we will be in the all fours position. I'll see you next time on the mat.